to support images, I'll install yet another package with npm install -- save dev, and that's the url-loader package. This is a loader that helps us load assets like images into our scripts or into our code so that we can use them, well, as URLs. So a URL to this image, for example. Now let's go back to webpack config, and after this CSS loader test here, let's add a new one where we test for image files. Now here, an image file is identified with this regular expression: \dot, parentheses, $, and then PNG or JPEG, where actually the E is optional, that's what this means, or a GIF. So I'm looking for files with these extensions, for imports for such files to be precise. And then I want to apply a loader, which is the URL-loader, like that. Now here we can add some inline options. This is another syntax webpack supports, which I also want to show you. Besides naming the loader, you can add a question mark thereafter, and then specify some options here that configure that loader. And there, for example, you could set a limit in kilobytes, so how big the image should be that is loaded. And then also basically add the path where this should be stored in. And here I do this with name, set this equal to images / name in square brackets, ext in square brackets, which basically keeps the image name, keeps the extension, but stores it in the images folder inside of the dist folder where everything will be stored in the end. And now we can also load images. Now that's all good, but one crucial thing is missing. We have an index.html file here, right? Now, we need to inject our scripts and our styles and everything dynamically into this file. So all our script imports for the bundle script and all our styles need to be injected in there. And for that, we need another package that helps us with that. So again, let's install something. Let's install it with npm install -- save dev, and that would be the html-webpack plugin, which is a plugin we can plug into our webpack flow to basically apply all these file transformations and then take the result of all these file transformations, like the bundle.js, and use that in another bigger transformation step. To use that plugin, we have to import it in the webpack config. HTML webpack plugin sounds like a fitting name. We import it with that node syntax where we import HTML webpack plugin, just like this. And then here in the webpack config file after module here, the order doesn't matter, but definitely not inside of module, that's the important thing, you add a plugins property, and that's an array of plugins. And there you instantiate webpack plugin like this with the new keyword and pass an object to it to configure it. And there we can specify a template, for example, a template pointing at the file we want to use as a basis. And that's dir name, this global variable which points at the current project folder, plus /source/index.html. This tells Webpack that we want to use this index.html file in the source folder as our starting point. Now we also want to generate a file which is named index.html, which we specify with this option, and we want to inject the content into the body, let's say. You could also go for a head if you want to inject all imports in the head. With that, this should be copied over into the dist folder where all our output is stored as well. And now I'd say it would be interesting to see this in option. So with all of that, let's save it and let's run npm start and see what this gives us. And here I got two problems. For one, the default export is missing. That's a simple oversight from my side. We should export the app class here, of course, in app.js because I need it in index.js. So if I save that, we get rid of that. But I also get an error that file loader wasn't found for the image import. So it turns out the URL loader also depends on another loader, which we just have to add with npm install -- save dev, and that's the file loader. So let's just install this extra package and thereafter give npm start another try. So let's run npm start again, which will spin up that dev server running at that URL. And now I don't get an obvious error. If we visit this page, I don't find the fav icon. Other than that, it's working though. This doesn't look too bad. And it's working just fine, as you can tell. I can switch between my two routes here, and everything works in my React component here. So that's now our development workflow. Please note that lazy loading, as we're using it here, is automatically supported and picked up by Webpack without any changes made by us.